Yo, what's going on everyone? Miles Midoriya here with the review and recap of All-American Homecoming Season 2, Episode 15. In the beginning, we see Simone doing a video diary because Aquila mentioned that video diaries are a mental health tool that the sorority uses to help process being online. She said she wasn't about to do one, but being she's the only one that's going to see the video, she said she was wrong and it helped. Simone says her probate is that night and she'll officially be a part of PKZ. At the workout room, JR brings up to Marcus about the Cape Cod League. If they want to make it onto the team, they have to make it through the mental part of the process. Marcus let him and Damon know they are going to do good. That's why they're going to be doing mock interviews. That is a good thing to do to help them get prepared for any type of questions that come their way. After Marcus left, JR was checking up on Damon. He told JR if it's about Simone, don't worry. She needs more time to think about it, and whatever she's got going on, he's good. He's focused on the future. Then he asked JR about the fraternity situation. Is there someone that's helping him? He said their pops is. He's meeting up with him later for some advice. Over at the fraternity house, both the fraternity and the sororities are together. Simone and Cam exchanged gifts. He got her a bag for tennis with her line name on it. Her gift was a great piece of artwork of him as a knight. She said the image fits who he is now, noble, selfless, and fearless, a courageous knight. That was a nice moment between the two of them. They both grown so much, especially Cam. Simone and Keisha are having a talk, and Simone brings up that Bringston's going to be sponsoring the exhibition match, and different people from HBCUs have already signed up. Keisha let her know she's doing good with everything she has going on, but Simone says she still hasn't heard about the internship just yet. They meet up with everyone, they're waiting on the results for the student president, and Nate won it. So all that hard work paid off. Over at the dorm rooms, Keisha tells Cam about her plan to get back at Dr. Pace, which is to have the alumni come speak at a retrospective, but instead of positive comments, they're going to be talking about how she really treated them. Of course, she seemed like she was getting an attitude when she asked if Cam supported her. He let her know that he supports her whenever and however she needs, but that's not her. She's better than that. He's right, she doesn't have to do that and she's better than that, and I'm glad she didn't start wilding out on him before he left. At Amara's office, Marcus tells her he wants to make their relationship public when they attend the exhibition match together, and she agreed, but just then she got a phone call which will be mentioned later. At the fraternity house, JR is having a conversation with his dad about taking away someone's letters. He tells him about the situation, and Jesse said they will have to have an off-the-record conversation with the regional vice president. Also, nationally, the frats are divided on whether the process needs to change. He's going to have to decide how far he wants to take it, and Jesse said however far that is, he's with them. There you go, Jesse, showing growth, being there for your son and not criticizing him like he used to do. Damon's at Marcus' office for the mock interview. It was cool at first until he started bringing up questions about his father being a coach and stuff surrounding that. Damon was wondering what he was doing, but he told him the team coach wants to make sure that he can handle tough personal questions from the media, so they continued for a little bit and Damon wasn't having it. He decided to leave, but he has to know he's just trying to prepare him for the media. They will ask him all type of tough questions. At the tennis court, Coach Lonnie tells everyone that the insurance for the exhibition match turned out to be higher than expected. Simone thought Bringston may cover it, but she told her Amara tried, but the trustees wouldn't go for it. So for now, it seems like they're going to have to cancel that exhibition match. Next scene, Simone is telling Orlando about them not having an exhibition match because they don't really have enough money for it, and she doesn't know how they could get the money. He told her anger and frustration is keeping her from seeing the options right in front of her. That's when she thought about the sorority and maybe there could be some people there that could sponsor it. Outside, Nate and Keisha Run into Ryan. He mentions that the paper does a photo shoot and interview with the new president to reintroduce them to the entire campus. Nate was cool with it and wondered when did they start, and he wrote down the website information, but Keisha picked up on something at that moment. After he left, Keisha told Nate the pin he used looked like the one Nate's secret admirer dropped at the masquerade ball. Nate didn't believe it could be Ryan, but while they were talking, they saw Dr. Pace arguing with some lady. She told her she owes her career such as it is to her. Dr. Pace asked her if she was such a disappointment, why did she come? She said she wanted to see how far she's fallen for herself. We learn later that lady is her teacher. In a way, that's kind of how Dr. Pace treats her students. It's what she learned from her that she's currently doing now. Moving along, Simone and JR have a quick conversation about raising money for the exhibition match. Then Damon pops up and JR asks him about his mock interview. He told him it was messed up. Coach Marcus was out of pocket. He brought up that he asked him some personal questions about him and Jesse, and JR said he asked him some personal questions too. Damon said some things should be off limits, and JR let him know he's just preparing them for the real world, that there are people out there that don't care about their boundaries, its strength, and being an open book. JR told him, look at Coach, if they can be more like him, there's no question from the past they won't be ready for. That's true, he's just preparing them for the real world. It sucks that they'll be asked those questions, but that's why he's getting them ready so when they do, they won't be affected by it as much. After JR went to go see Amara about something, Damon asked Simone did she agree with that, and she told him he's not mad at Coach Marcus, but it's fear, not anger, and let him know that she gets it. Simone listed out some of the positives about him to encourage him for his interview. Just then, Simone got a text, and she may have found a way for the exhibition match. In the next scene, JR tells everyone that he got called into Amara's office about there being an accusation of hazing in their chapter and that Bringston and a fraternity leadership will be launching a full-on investigation. Lou asked them what if they were found guilty, and someone said usually the chapter gets expelled from campus indefinitely. JR told them he just wanted Terrell to be held accountable, he was trying to avoid it, and someone wondered who told, and just then this dude Terrell came through the door. He talking about he heard there was a hazing investigation going on. JR guessed it was him that told, and he let him know that his letters could get taken away, but Terrell told him that the regional VP is like his uncle. JR mentioned when his dad had called the VP, he must have let Terrell know what was going on. This dude is annoying, and shout out to them for not blaming and getting mad at JR, he's just trying to help them out. At the workout room, Simone's telling Thea that everything is fine for them, but she may have to miss her match because her probate is the same time as her match. Later at the match, Simone's line sisters and Cam and his line brothers show up to support Simone. She didn't want them to miss their probate, but Cam let her know that JR and Aquila are cool with it. While the matches are going on, Thea spotted Cortina, a player they should be on the lookout for, which is why Coach Lonnie went to Simone and Thea to ask them for a favor. And they both understood the assignment because Thea said, was it to show Cortina whose courts these are, and she said please and thank you. While the matches are going on, JR is talking to Jesse and he lets him know that he doesn't want to lose out on his chapter. Jesse told him not to give up hope. He didn't give up when he was sick. He didn't give up on him. He will find a way to save the chapter. Just then, Damon walked over. He had to talk to Jesse. He asked him why did he step down as their head coach, and he told him he'd rather be his father than his coach. Damon brought up about them having their interviews and he doesn't want them questioning his personal stuff. He didn't want to be judged for his mistakes. Now he realizes it's more than that. He didn't want to see Jesse judged for his mistakes either. Jesse told him to tell his story and he will take whatever criticism. Next we see Marcus and Amara together and Keisha spots them and she lets him know she's happy for them. I was actually surprised at Keisha's reaction because Amara was dating her dad and you never know with Keisha sometimes. Amara knew Keisha had to talk about something, so Marcus stepped away. She told her about what happened with Dr. Pace and how that lady treated her and how she never seen her that crushed before. Amara asked her who was she and she told her she was her former dance teacher. Keisha was the one who brought her there and that she was going to embarrass her, and as she realized that she took it too far and Cam tried to stop her. Amara let her know that she needs to stop it. She said the others are sticking to the plan and Amara told her if there's time there's a way. Make it right for Dr. Pace and her. Next we see Damon and Orlando sitting near each other, and by the way Orlando's talking, Damon could tell that his feelings for Simone are serious, and guess he told her that, and Orlando said he just wanted to be honest with him about it. Simone won her match and it was funny seeing both of them cheering for her, but nah, that was cool to see. Simone's talking to Nate about Damon and Orlando, and Nate mentions how Simone kissed one and slept with the other and joked that she might as well go for the one that she didn't sleep with. Simone was acting kind of funny until Nate guessed it. We all learned that night she didn't just kiss Damon, she slept with him. Nate got all hyped. He thought that the two of them was being extra over a kiss. I was not expecting that. I thought maybe something else might have happened that night, and I guess you could see why he was thinking more about her in that episode after it all happened. Thea walked over and told Simone she would be playing Cortina, so she gotta focus. Simone's in a workout room and the pressure is starting to get to her a little bit. Damon went to go talk to her. He mentioned how Cortina is a GAC champ. Winning against her is like getting back at them for not supporting them after the cops stopped. He was right because Simone said it's very annoying when he does that. He let her know she has to let that go. Playing Cortina isn't about them. She wondered what it was about. He told her it's about celebrating her making it through everything she's been up to till this point. She defied the odds. That's who she is. The match against Cortina, that's no different. She said so he's telling her to remember who she is, and he said that's it. It's what worked for him when she didn't give him an answer. It's how he knew he'd be okay. Simone said she didn't give him an answer. Damon told her no answer is an answer, but knowing who he is why he's still able to be there for his friend. That was a good talk to get her motivated and realize that she can win the match. She's been through a lot already and that hasn't made her stop or give up. Next scene, Keisha went to go talk to Dr. Pace. She told her the truth. She brought her former dance teacher there and she knows she made her suffer when she was her student. Keisha said she wanted her to see she was continuing the cycle of abuse that she endured. Dr. Pace said it wasn't that. She was just training her students to be resilient. Keisha says she doesn't keep up with her students. They shine for a couple of years, but most of them crash and burn because of the toll it takes on their body and mental health. It's just too much. She breaks down dancers and doesn't give them the tools to build themselves back up. Dr. Pace told her the performance she will see will prove her wrong. That's when Keisha had to let her know that her former students aren't coming there to celebrate her. They're coming up to break the cycle and reveal how she broke them and expose all the pain that she caused them. She regrets that she started it, but she wanted her to know so she can get ahead of it. Dr. Pace was still being stubborn. She said by apologizing for having standards, she won't do that. Keisha said it's her choice just like it's her choice to apologize because those are her standards, which she did and she left. But the look on Dr. Pace's face seemed like she was thinking about what Keisha said. Shout out to Keisha for doing the right thing. Back at the fraternity house, JR is talking with everyone that if he goes to Amara and the regional VP and take full responsibility, that it won't ruin the whole fraternity. None of them were agreeing with that. They all wanted to go talk. JR told them if it's one, that's a bad apple. If they all go, then the whole chapter doesn't look good. And as the dean of pledges, it's his responsibility. Quentin asked him, is he sure once he does that, there's no turning back? And he was. That's sad though. Because of that dude, Terrell, JR will not be a part of the fraternity anymore. Being a part of that means a lot to him. At the exhibition match, Simone and Cortina are doing good, but Simone ended up taking the win. After the match, Cortina seemed a little salty. She said it was just an exhibition match, it doesn't count, and Simone let her know the next time she wins, it will. That was a pretty cool match. Glad she won it and she didn't let anything affect her while she was playing. Everyone congratulated her, but she couldn't stay too long. Cam said she had to go shower and change. She had somewhere to be. It's nighttime and everyone's ready for the step show. Orlando mentioned that they're going to be seeing a joint probate for the fraternity and a sorority, and they put on a good performance. It was cool to see. Afterwards, Orlando has a talk with Simone. He gave her a couple of gifts. One of them was from Charlotte. It's a shirt for a firm, which means she got the internship, and the other gift was a pair of glasses. It was a throwback to their debate about Rosa Parks and the Montgomery bus stop, and she said the day they first met. He told her she really opened his mind and heart to new perspectives. He figured he'd return the favor, and Simone said what did she want him to see, and he said what's right in front of her. Simone's having a good episode. She won her match, she got the internship, but she still got one more decision to make. It's the next day and Damon is at Coach Marcus' office. He wanted to apologize for getting mad at him earlier, and Marcus apologized too. He said he may have pressed him a little too much. He just didn't want him to be afraid to talk about his past. Damon said he knows this because it's the part the media will come for, and Marcus said, or the part that resurfaces and disrupts his future. It's funny how they're talking about the past because Marcus has something that pops up later in the episode, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Marcus asked him is he ready for the interview, and he said he is, so glad everything worked out. We see Damon in the interview and he says some stuff before it starts, and from what he told that man, it sounds like he's prepared for the interview. At the dance theater, we see Dr. Pace is giving a speech. She thanked him all for being there, and she says she needs to take a step back to reassess who she's become in his lifetime. She's taking an indefinite sabbatical so she can go out into the world to rediscover herself, so the retrospective is her farewell for now. Keisha went to go talk to her. She wondered what was going on. She didn't think she heard a word of what she told her earlier. Dr. Pace told her on any other day she wouldn't have, but seeing her old teacher brought up some things. She told her well played. She truly underestimated her on all fronts. That's a good move for Dr. Pace. She's going to be working on herself so she can become a better teacher for her students. Later on, JR and Cam have a conversation. JR tells Cam that he submitted him for one of the fraternity scholarships and he got it. It's enough to cover his tuition and board for next year. JR told him that his future at the fraternity may be over, but they will always be brothers. Also, JR heard that Terrell and his boys got jumped after the probate, and he asked if he heard anything about it. Cam told him once he crossed, but don't worry, he took off his letters. Their chapter might be non-violent, but he's from Crenshaw. That's awesome. Cam stuck with it and got a scholarship. He went through something that changed him a little, and he got new friends along the way. Nate and Ryan are having an interview, and Nate mentions about Walinda being the vice president and how he wouldn't have won without her. That's nice that Nate did that. Ryan wanted to write a quote, but didn't have a pen, and that's when Nate passed him one of the pens that he dropped. Basically, he thought Nate wouldn't have been interested. He obsesses over pens, and he spends all of his time on a computer, but Nate didn't agree with that, and they're all good now. Next scene, Keisha and Cam are having a discussion. She says she's glad to get out of her Dr. Pace era, and Cam asked her about the incomplete that she got in the class, if there was any way around it, and she told him it's summer school for her. But she told him they should be celebrating him officially being in a fraternity, so she presented him with a gift from her and his parents. It's a chain with his line name on it. That was cool of them to do that, and Keisha didn't go off on Cam in this episode, and that was good to see. At Damon's dorm room, Jesse stopped by and he asked him about the interview, and Damon told him that he's officially on a team in the Cape Cod League, and JR made it too. Damon brought up about him meeting him at the diner on Wednesdays, and he said it's not Wednesday, but he wants to have that talk if the offer still stands, and he said he loved that. That's what's up. Damon is showing growth in that part of his life, and it'll be nice to see them getting along. Over at Marcus' place, Amara brings up that she has some vacation days and mentions that they should take a trip for the summer. He said it sounds good, but he has to be back in time for orientation for graduate school in psychology. He wants to double down on the mental health work he's been doing with the students, which means he needs a degree to back it up. That's a good thing that he's doing. He has been helping out a lot of people with their mental health, making sure that they're good or to seek the help that they need. Now, here's where the surprise happened. I was not expecting this. There's a knock at the door. It's a woman there, and I was like, maybe it's a family member. He told her she can't be there. Amar asked, who is this? And she said her name is Crystal, his wife. This man Marcus got a wife. Where did this come from, and when did all this happen? They over here talking about summer trips. They making their relationship public. Bruh, you got a wife. This next part is sad. JR's writing down some stuff. His nose is bleeding, and in the trash can, there's a bunch of tissue there, so it seems like he's getting sick again. Like, that's sad to see. First is his health, him having to lead a fraternity, then him maybe not being able to play baseball. Next scene, Simone sends a message asking someone to meet up. Damon and Orlando got a message. Then we see Simone outside and we don't get to see who she's talking to. Whoever's there, she made her decision and that's where the episode ends. I don't know who she picked. It might have been Damon. If she picked Orlando, I think she would have been wearing the glasses that he got her. You know, just showing that she appreciates him and just bringing it back to when they first met. I kind of figured they was going to do that for the last episode with her deciding who she was going to pick. It would have been cool if they showed who it was, but they got to build up hype for the next season. Overall, that was a solid episode. Some things got worked out and we got a couple of surprises near the end of the episode. It will be interesting to see how all of it gets handled in the next season whenever that gets announced. Comment below what did you think about the episode and what was your favorite part from it. Thank you all for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.